Okay, what up, everybody? Basic slides, 3 of 3, I think. Yeah, 3 of 3. All right, we've looked at putting in backgrounds, using shapes to build on top of, inserting text, formatting, inserting. Is where we are now. So, number 1, inserting images. No big deal, right? Okay. Okay. Insert image. You have some options here. Upload from computer. Of course, if you're on a Chromebook, you're just going to be pulling from Drive there. You can search the web right here from slides. There's a devoted Drive option if you're on a non-Chromebook. Your Google Photos if you have the web address, and then if you want to use your webcam, which I don't think I've ever done that. Okay, we're just going to go with upload from computer. It doesn't really matter here. I'm just going to choose something. Okay. I say it doesn't matter, but then I'm going to go through here and try to pick something I want to use. Although I have no real criteria for why I might want to choose something over something else that I could say. That being said, I think that I will choose this. Mr. Rogers. Why the heck not? Okay. This might be annoying. I'm going to say it anyway. I have to say it to kids all the time. You can't do this, right? And you can't do this. That distorts the image. It changes the aspect ratio. You can resize, right, by dragging a corner. And you're allowed to crop. There's your crop button. You can also right-click on it and put crop image. Then you're dragging these little black bars to keep the part of the picture that you want and let the rest of it go. Then when you resize, you're using the space how you want to. Oh, that's funny. I'm just going to get rid of this top layer for now. Okay. Let's move Mr. Fred Rogers over here. Let's see here. I'm going to crop him off a little bit more. Just because I see that there's like a space that I want to put him in, and I'm going to try to get there. Okay. Again, I am respecting my invisible borders on the outside and here at the bottom. Throw a border on there. That's what we're doing. Big old 8. So be it. Okay, you can see here that my text box is running off the side. Just for the sake of getting it done, let's get rid of this. Okay. Why not? All right, now you have some limited options on what you can do with images once they're already in there. There's not that much you can do in slides. Your color options, I'm not going to say they're disappointing, but there's just not a lot to them. Most of them aren't really doing something that you're going to want to do with the picture, really. The grayscale looks all right, though. Okay. And just like with your shapes and your images, you can throw a drop shadow on it. which it's hard to see on this background, but in another reality, it might make it look nice. Okay, now you can also do this. I'm going to throw something on top of it so that you can see, I guess, maybe why you'd use it. You can change the transparency of an image. Here, I'll just show you this one real quick. Format options, adjustments. Again, you have a few options. Like we can change the brightness, we can change the contrast, right? And then your transparency. Now you have to decide why you might want to use that, but you can. Now, I actually do use that function quite a bit. For this reason. I thought I had something. Okay. So what I do is I'll take some sort of texture, maybe sand or dirt or blackboard or paint or something, and let's do this one, and I will put it over another image or a background. If you are editing and you need to pull out, you can do Control Alt minus, and it will shrink that slide for you so you can see more of it. Okay. Now, oh yeah, I forgot. I'm going over red over here. Okay. Just because it will be quicker, I'm grabbing that little circle at the top of the image and I'm just pulling it. You could right click and change which way it's pointed if you wanted, but you can just spin it around if you want. Okay, pull this guy down. Then I'm going to crop it. Okay. And I think this will look a little bit better if I actually get that recolor off of there and just leave it as it was. Okay, so now I want to put this on top of this. Okay, I know I'm breaking my own rules here, but it's just a texture. You're not going to really be able to see it. Okay, now when I change the transparency, it will do this. So it's going to leave these smudges behind and the dirt and the grit. Okay. And I've done something. Now you have to decide if that's ever something useful for you, but I have found that putting textures in and changing the transparency on top of backgrounds and such can make for some pretty cool looking slides. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah. Boom. Okay. Next, you can insert GIFs in. Okay, that's you can see it in the background. We've already done it, but we're going to throw another one in just so you can see it. You can also change the transparency on those as well, which can be helpful for certain things, I suppose. All right, where am I going? All right. All right, so let's make Mr. Rogers look super psychedelic. Yeah, why not? Maybe this one's kind of already square, so that's helpful. I'm going to have to crop it a little bit. Man, if anyone's still watching this, like, you must really be into it, because I just keep imagining this is must be super boring. Okay. And for the sake of time, I'm just going to Forget it. I'm going to do it right. Okay. And just the fact that works is pretty sweet. Okay. Now, if you want, we want to make Trippy Mr. Rogers. We totes can do that. Okay. It's pretty well, right? Okay. Okay, next. I'm going to get rid of that. Okay, links. This, when we get into advanced slides, links are a much bigger deal, but they're important to know how to do. So just this picture, for example, I can click on it. I don't know if there's a Mr. Rogers website, but I bet you there is. Because of course there is. Look at that. Okay. So again, I just hit this link button up here. Okay, you could also right click on it and put the link in that way. Apply. Now, Mr. Rogers is a link to his website. Okay, you could do the same thing on the word links. Okay, just going to hit that link button again and drop stuff in there. Okay. Again, links matter more when you're building materials and not just slideshows, but that's how they work. Okay, tables. All right. Tables are super helpful. I want to show you something real quick. So if we are, let's say that we're building a table on a black background. So we go to Insert, Table, and then you just decide how big you want it to be. We're just going to make it 5 by 4, just because. Why not? All right. Now, if you're actually going through this training with me, you saw some of the charts I used earlier. And of course, you can change the grid lines to whichever color you want. But I'm going to go ahead and fill these grids with something basic. Okay. Now, if I change my border color to the same as the background and then make the size of those lines pretty big, it looks pretty rad, right? Like it makes for a pretty nice looking table. If I highlight all these, check this out. For the fill, you can also do gradients, which look pretty cool. Okay. Let's say over here we want to do a different gradient. And we can always, we saw custom gradients earlier. We can use our own custom gradients if that's what we want to do, but we don't because that looks weird. How's about this orange? Yeah. Okay, so we have tables now. After that, it's pretty self-explanatory. It works just like text boxes for the most part. We'll do center. I'll pick something kind of fun here. Why not? Bold 24, and we'll just I should have done that to all of them. So we will. 24. Bold. Okay. All right, you can see that that doesn't look great because it's too dark. So I'm going to come up here, make it look light. Okay, tables. Okay, I'm not going to go through all the ways you might use tables. I think they're pretty self-explanatory as far as like why you would use one. There are all sorts of reasons you might use them. But again, once you're building curriculum or when you're building materials and slides, if that's something you end up doing, tables end up being one of the most important tools in your toolbox. Okay, moving on. The last one's charts. I'm not really going to spend any time on it. If you're going to do charts, if you went up here and went to insert chart, what it's going to do is it's going to auto create a bar graph, right? If I then go try to do anything to it, it's just going to open up Google Sheets so that I can put my data in to create that graph. This isn't a Google Sheets video, so that's as much as I'm going to tell you. But for my part, I make my graphs and sheets, and then you can just copy and paste them in. All right, and if you want to, you can even hit that link option or choose to link them, and that means if your data changes on your sheet, it will change on your Google slide. Again, I feel like that's a conversation for a different day, so I'm not going to have it right now. Okay, I think that's it. How long is this thing? 17 minutes. Yeah, it's definitely long enough. Okay, bye, y'all. Thanks.